Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if our history is missing a chapter? Our textbooks tell a neat story of progress, from hunter-gatherers to city builders. But what if there are gaps, moments in our past that defy explanation? What if someone or something nudged humanity forward? The past is a puzzle with missing pieces. Sometimes, the more we uncover, the more questions we have. We find artifacts ahead of their time, myths of sky gods, and sudden leaps in knowledge. Are these just coincidences, or echoes of a forgotten truth, visitors who left a mark on our species? This mystery begins in the ancient land of Sumer, where the first cities rose and writing was born. Here, the Sumerians wrote of the Anunnaki, gods who descended from the heavens, powerful and perhaps not of this world. Their stories, carved into clay tablets, have survived for millennia, waiting for us to rediscover them. We're not just looking at ruins, we're chasing a legend that challenges our understanding of who we are. Are we the product of slow evolution, or did we have help? To find answers, we must return to where it all began and listen to the ancients. The truth is out there if we're willing to look. Our journey takes us to the Fertile Crescent, ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. For millennia, humans lived as nomads. Then, around 4500 BCE, something extraordinary happened. Sumer, the world's first true civilization, emerged almost overnight. Before Sumer, no cities, no laws, no writing. Then, suddenly, massive cities, ziggurats, and complex irrigation systems appeared. The Sumerians invented writing, cuneiform, revolutionizing how knowledge was preserved. They gave us the 60-second minute, the hour, the 360-degree circle, and mapped the stars with precision. Where did this knowledge come from so suddenly? Mainstream history says it was human ingenuity given the right conditions. But the speed and scale of Sumer's achievements raise questions. Did the Sumerians figure it all out alone, or did they have help? The Sumerians themselves credited their knowledge to the gods. Their oldest texts say, "The wisdom came from above." Was this just myth, or a clue to something more? The story of Sumer is a mystery that still challenges us today, and at its heart are the Anunnaki. Who were the gods the Sumerians credited for their leap forward? They called them the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came. The Anunnaki were described as powerful physical beings who governed the cosmos and human life. Led by Anu, with sons Enlil and Enki managing Earth, they were depicted as larger-than-life figures with advanced abilities. The Sumerian texts described them as rulers, scientists, and enforcers, capable of controlling weather and performing miracles. Their images show horned helmets and mysterious rod and ring symbols. The ziggurats were built as stairways to heaven, connecting humans to these gods. The Sumerians believed they were created by the Anunnaki for a purpose. For centuries, scholars saw these stories as myth, explanations for natural forces. But a radical theory emerged. What if the Anunnaki were not gods, but something far more tangible? What if these stories are history, not just legend? According to Sumerian texts, the Anunnaki were hands-on rulers, mining Earth for gold. When their workers rebelled, Enki proposed a solution: create a new worker. They mixed their essence with that of an existing hominid, engineering the first human, the Adamu. This being's purpose? To serve the Anunnaki. The parallels to the biblical Adam are striking, but the Sumerian version is older. The Sumerians saw humanity as a hybrid species designed for servitude. This narrative offers an explanation for the sudden appearance of Homo sapiens and our leap in intelligence. Instead of masters of our destiny, we were created for a purpose not our own. The Anunnaki taught humans agriculture, astronomy, and law. The explosion of Sumerian civilization in this view was a transfer of knowledge from our creators. Was it a miracle of human ingenuity, or a gift from the gods? The answer remains elusive. In 1976, Zecharia Sitchin published, launching a controversial theory. Sitchin claimed the Sumerian texts were not myths, but records of extraterrestrial visitors, the Anunnaki, from a hidden planet, Nibiru. Nibiru, he said, orbits the sun every 3,600 years. The Anunnaki came to Earth seeking gold to save their atmosphere. They established mining colonies, created humans as workers, and ruled as kings. Sitchin wove together Sumerian myths, archaeological finds, and astronomical anomalies. He argued the Sumerians' advanced knowledge of the cosmos came from the Anunnaki. Even the Great Flood, he said, was a catastrophe foreseen by these visitors. Sitchin's theory rewrites not just human history, but the story of our solar system. Critics call it pseudoscience, but for many, it's a compelling alternative to mainstream history. Did the Anunnaki really come from the stars, or is this just a modern myth? What evidence supports the ancient astronaut theory? Proponents point to artifacts and anomalies. Sumerian cylinder seals like VA-243 show celestial maps with an extra planet, interpreted as Nibiru. Anunnaki figures are depicted as larger than humans, wearing what look like modern gear, wrist devices, helmets, and mysterious handbags. Are these symbols of power or advanced technology? The Sumerians' astronomical knowledge was astonishing. They mapped the stars, predicted eclipses, and calculated lunar cycles. Could this have come from simple observation, or was it given to them? Around the world, ancient engineering marvels like the pyramids and Puma Punku are cited as evidence of lost technology. The theory even extends to genetics. Why did Homo sapiens appear so suddenly? Why do we have unique DNA? Some suggest our DNA was deliberately engineered by the Anunnaki. These mysteries fuel the debate. Are we the product of evolution or intervention? The evidence is intriguing but far from conclusive. It's vital to examine all sides. Mainstream scholars strongly reject Sitchin's theory. They argue his translations of Sumerian texts are inaccurate and forced. Anunnaki likely means princely offspring, not those who from heaven to earth came. Artifacts like cylinder seal VA-243 are seen as star maps, not depictions of planets. The so-called handbags and wristwatches are symbols of divinity, not technology. The Sumerians' astronomical skills, while impressive, were the result of careful observation, not alien instruction. There's no evidence they knew of planets like Uranus or Neptune. The idea of Nibiru as a 12th planet is not found in any Sumerian text. Scholars say Sitchin pieced together unrelated myths to fit his narrative. The mainstream view, the Anunnaki were mythological, not extraterrestrial, but the legend persists, challenging us to question what we know. Whatever you believe, the Sumerian civilization changed the world. Their legacy is everywhere. Our timekeeping, our calendars, our writing. They gave us cuneiform, the wheel, the plow, and the first cities. The Epic of Gilgamesh, their legal codes, and their schools shaped civilization. The Sumerian miracle is why the Anunnaki legend endures. How did one culture invent so much so quickly? Mainstream history credits a perfect storm of environment, need, and creativity. But the myth persists, offering a cosmic explanation for our origins. The Anunnaki legend speaks to our desire for meaning and connection to something greater. Whether fact or metaphor, their story continues to inspire wonder and debate. Today, the Anunnaki story is part of modern conspiracy culture and UFO lore. Online, it's linked to secret societies, UFO sightings, and government cover-ups. Some believe the Anunnaki never left, or will return with Nibiru. This narrative simplifies a chaotic world into a story of hidden masters and enslaved humanity. So where do we land? At a crossroads of history and myth, science and belief. Academics see the Anunnaki as myth, powerful metaphors, not records of alien contact, but the possibility remains. What if our ancestors were telling the truth as best they could? Could our DNA hold the signature of an alien race? The theory challenges everything we believe about ourselves. Were the Anunnaki gods ancient astronauts or something in between? The expedition for truth is never truly over.